Fuck the charts, Leo. I am buying calls. I'm totally buying calls. My God, what? Oh, fuck the charts, man. Look, I know everything looks so high, but I'm buying calls. Fuck it. Everything is going high. I can just feel it. I can fucking feel it. There's not a single bear out there on Bitcoin. There's not a single bear out there on Ethereum. There's not a single bear on any altcoins out there. There's not a single bear on the fucking market. Everyone can be wrong. Oh, I know everyone can be wrong. I'm so excited to make my first win on this bullish momentum, guys. I mean, I feel so happy. I'm a bull now. Why haven't I done this before? I mean, I can breathe now. Life as a groupie feels so much better, y'all. Says a fucking guy who is about to get completely wrecked on Bitcoin, completely wrecked on fucking altcoins, completely wrecked on the motherfucking stock market. So, that's why you come to 13 Market Moves, to hear the truth and nothing but the fucking truth about trading. So, I'm going to review today a subject of great importance with you guys, and that is how to make money even when options are completely overpriced. Now, time and time you've heard from me that you gotta identify those market conditions where options are just dirt cheap, underpriced, which is predominantly is what we have in a lot of different assets that are traded in different sectors in the market. But there are time from time where you can identify a ridiculously easy trade. So if you guys are looking for an easy fucking trade and an easy strategy, pay close attention to what I am about to tell you. And what I'm going to tell you is going to shock the fuck out of you, because it is exactly the opposite of what an average trader would do. So here's the thing. Time after time, when I'm trading with mostly unexperienced guys, and actually, even experienced guys make the same fucking mistake. And the mistake is, I'm sending them a message like, hey, get on this trade right now. The trader is like, oh, Leo, man, the spreads are so big, man. The option, oh my God, I cannot believe what one put on this thing is like $10 and it's like $30 out of the money. Leo, do you really think this thing can drop this much? Wow. Says a guy who didn't do any homework, didn't do any fucking studying on the charts. Says a guy who don't even normally look at charts. Okay? He only looks at, oh my God, well, they're saying this shit should go higher in the news, or this shit should go lower, which you're not going to hear anybody saying anything about shit going lower. So we might as well scratch that option. But guys, the once upon a time, there's just some very simple fucking trades. And I'm going to break down a trade, which we posted in the group Friday before market close, like literally within an hour. And if you guys were trading with me, I gave you the trade earlier that morning. I gave you the trade earlier a day before that. I was preparing you to basically capitalize in what my view was an absolute 100% fucking probability outcome that something was going to drop. So one thing is true. When options are overpriced, okay, most of the traders, they're not going to take the trade. Be like, well, fuck, man, you mean one contract cost me $2,000? Liam, nah, man, I'd rather go buy like 100 contracts of some other shit for 20 cents because I feel like I'm getting the deal, right? And that's not, your point is, as a trader, to understand, okay, if I'm going to put 2,000 in the trade, can I make 10x, 20x? Can I make 5x? It's not about how many contracts you buy, right? It's never about how many contracts you buy. Always look at it from the standpoint, okay, how much money can I put in this trade, and will it go 4x plus? If you cannot identify a moment like that, then don't even fuck with the trade. There's too many people that are like, okay, well, can I put 2,000 in this trade? And okay, can I make 20% real quick? Like, that is just such a coward bullshit strategy. You can never get rich of anything fucking like that. I mean, but most of the people who talk to you about scalping and all of the crap, I think goddamn scalpers don't make any real fucking money. So if you're trying to do that, just might as well just fucking quit that shit now and get on with the 13 market moves formula to understand how big money's made. Now, we trade short-term weekly options expiration. And the reason why we're predominantly bearish is because when you trade options, okay, we're not talking about long-term investing, buy something, fucking hold it for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, okay? We're talking about having an advantageous position when you are trading options. Short-term options expiration. Now, short-term could mean, hey, this option expires in the next 5 days. This option expires in the next 10 days. This could also mean, hey, this option expires in 2 days. This option expires in the next 2 hours. And there's a variation of strategies that we use at 13 market moves to reduce risk. There's variation of strategies which we use to max the fuck out of any possible gains, considering the size of the move that the market can give us in a particular market environment. So most of the time, you ideally want to go for the options that are severely underpriced in relation to the size of the move. But in this podcast, I want to talk to you about a situation where trader avoids buying options that appear to a trader as they're highly fucking priced. I mean, hey, I can buy this option, Leo, for $1. You want me to buy an option that's like $12 fucking dollars? So basically, the trader is saying, Leo, I can get into this other trade for like $100. You want me to put $1,200 in the trade? Okay, it makes sense that somebody would think, okay, well, Leo, I can go from $100 to $400 in the trade instead of going $12 to $1,200 to $4,800. But there are moments in time where actually that statement is completely not fucking representing reality. So we're going to talk about a setup that we have identified on Friday. Okay, there were a number of stocks which were considered for a once in a while, the market is going to go for some fucking rebalancing of the stocks that comprise the S&P 500 index. And sometimes that could happen on like Thursday or Friday. As sometimes some of these things, they take place at some, moments, most of the time they take place towards the market close or right off the market close. So if you're trying to trade short-term options expiration, your goal is to catch that very fucking moment, right, of when the big move is going to take place. So we have identified these stocks, Workday, ticker WDAY, as a possible stock that could be going in the S&P 500 index as of Friday. I'm recording this on a Saturday. So yesterday, basically, Workday was on our radar. Ticker APO, Apollo. And we had another ticker, which, hopefully you're fucking familiar with by now. Ticker APP, App Loving. And you got to be loving App Loving. Like if you're a trader, you got to be loving those type of stocks. And of course, nothing new, Coinbase, ticker COIN. So there's 4 possibilities in our view. Now, there's probably a bunch more possibilities out there for anyone to consider. But, some of the things, there's a number of stocks, once they, people think, well, they can't drop. They're in S&P 500. Yeah, well, believe it or not, from time to time, stocks deteriorate so badly in S&P 500 in relation to some other stocks that are not yet in the S&P 500 that, they have to be replaced. Yeah, I mean, to prop the fucking markets, like we can't keep the same stocks in the fucking S&P 500 index, right? We got to replace them with some better upcoming stocks. And we caught, like, historically, like, if you look at 13 market moves, we don't make a lot of these trades, but when we do make one, guys, it's always a fucking sure money trade, okay? And sometimes, guys, it takes a while to identify these, but once we do, like, you don't go and put $1,000 in that trade. You go fucking put $100K in that trade. I mean, that's how you're going to get paid. You're not going to make, 20x, or 30x on that, but you're going to make 5, 10x on 100K, and you can do it within a 48-hour time frame. Show me a person that don't want to fucking do it. So the point is this. A while back, we have identified a pattern in mRNA. Now, that was during COVID, and the charts, they were like, not many people were seeing what the fuck we were seeing in mRNA. It was trading around, $230. It had a good run, not a crazy fucking run. It had like double the money kind of run prior to the event, where it is actually considered to be a part of S&P 500. And we have nailed that. Now, we started buying mRNA at that point around 220, 230. We were buying call options, and it goes to 240, 250, and there comes the fucking event. It opens that night on Friday. It fucking opens up at, 280 after hours, and clearly fucking Monday expiration pays out big fucking money. So we caught that moment. So it is important to understand the setup, right? Oftentimes you hear me about the setup. The setup meaning the context of the trade. What are we looking at? So if we analyze the mRNA trade back then and the crazy fucking momentum it had and continued going, especially after it gets admitted to the S&P 500, becomes a part of that index, it creates a much greater demand for a stock that, had, been moving up at quite a better pace than the rest of the stocks at that time. But once it gets admitted to the S&P 500 index, that's when the shit really takes off. And so, as I mentioned, the 4 stocks in this podcast so far are Workday, Apollo, Coin, and App Loving. Gotta fucking love it. So, when you can narrow down your trade out of 4 outcomes to just fucking one, how can you not go for a trade like that? How could you not? I mean, at times, decision making when it comes to options and stock market, I mean, they're much more complex than that. You got to consider like a fucking 100 fucking outcomes before you get into a trade. But there are moments in time when you can really go for a sure fucking thing like this. Okay. And all you have to basically look at is a chart. Right, so the message we sent you on Friday was short the hell out of app, ticker APP. And we said buy today expiration puts and buy next week expiration puts. So Friday, APP hits a high of 417. We didn't quite short it at the 417. We started getting in at like 415, 413 on puts. I had a few traders that got in earlier that day, but depending on the expiration, I mean, all of these trades are making fucking money, right? So when you're looking for a 100% sure shot, okay, anybody that has overlooked that trade, I'm going to tell you exactly what they were looking at. They were looking at the fact that, well, Leo, you want me to buy options on APP? Oh, man, I don't know. Number one, like the number one response, I never heard of this thing, which is weird, right? Because if you traded with me directly, how could you not fucking hear about this thing? This shit is up from $80 to $417, and you've never heard about it? And I don't mean like it's up from $80 to $417 in the last 10 years. I'm telling you, like, it's up from $80 to fucking $417 in the last 10 months, fucking 4 months. With the majority of the move comes from 160 to 417 in the last 40 days. So there you are. Okay, now you got some context. So when we consider something that gets admitted to the S&P 500 index, this is what most of the people overlook, because to me, the bet was so simple. Okay, to me, it was like, okay, so these are potential stocks, and we looked at like maybe 10 stocks that could have been admitted. We got them narrowed down to 4: Workday, APO, Coin, and App. So by simple elimination process, okay, well, I mean, if you had to pick one fucking stock that would not make it to the S&P 500, well, it would be the fucking stock that runs from $80 to $417 in a matter of months. Because by definition, that means our loss of momentum pattern that I give multiple examples of in the charts divergences and pattern recognition course. So by definition, I'm looking at this pattern and I'm saying to myself, well, all right, let me go look at other charts, right? I mean, APP, sure, it's a fucking bubble, okay, but it became even a greater bubble as, believe it or not, some of the market participants on Friday actually thought that APP had a shot of being admitted to S&P 500. Like, that's the craziest fucking shit to me, that some people will actually argue that it had a shot. To me, it didn't have 0% chance. It had negative fucking 100% chance because of the fucking chart. Now, if you focused on all the hype, you might have think, whoa, my God, I'm going to go with APP. That's going to S&P 500. Look at this chart. Holy shit, 80 points to 417 in a matter of months. Whoa. You know, and that's why I started this audio message with, being sarcastic about somebody just looking at some green candles and listening to all the bullshit that people are talking about. APP, it can only go higher, and all these analysts, they're raising fucking target prices. Look, this is not our first rodeo here at 13 Market Moves, okay? I mean, we're the fucking cowboys are trading here. This ain't our first rodeo, okay? We've been at it for a long fucking time. So when you look at a chart like this, I mean, this thing's got negative chances of being included in S&P. And then really Coinbase was like a coin toss, right? Because there's a lot of momentum in crypto stocks. Coinbase has been around for such a long time. And since it went public, this shit was at $400, and that was lightning fucking years ago, and it still cannot make it to a point where where it's Coinbase, since it went public, guys. If you go track our history at 13 Market Moves, it's been our short since it went public. Now, it was very difficult for many people to make that call unless you have the mentality of someone that I was describing at the very beginning of this audio message. Basically, people lose their fucking mind when they see something so fucking bullish like Coinbase was back then, and it's going public, and it's the greatest fucking most hyped up IPO at that time years ago. And then, what do? Short the fucking hype. Like, that's the easiest trade you can take. Short the fucking hype. Damn it. So we shorted it, and it keeps going fucking lower. And before you know, it's at 330. And before you know, it's at 280. And before you know, it's at 220. Before you know, it's at 180. Before you know, it's at fucking 40, and nobody wants to buy it. We're like, fucking buy the fuck out of coin calls. Guys, this is all time step. You can go review all the videos on this, okay? Not a motherfucker wants to buy a coin at $40. To fast forward, I mean, coin is at $340 now, $340. And we're thinking, okay, well, this is the one that could actually be a coin toss when we're going into this thing, because overall, I mean, it has gone for the worst shit. It's got a lot to look forward to with the Trump administration and the pending lawsuit. And, you know, I mean, it could really, you know, this shit could really, you know, move, be a good component of the S&P 500 going forward from here. So we're actually thinking like coin actually had a good shot. Okay, but instead, okay, well, in our view, Workday had a good shot. APO, I mean, I don't know, guys. When I look at the APO, the shit is up from 100 points to 170 in a matter of months. Yeah, sure, it's not like $80 to $400 in a matter of months. So in that sense, when you look at the chart of APO, I mean, it was a much better candidate, because when you look at the chart and the volatility of APO, which is Apollo Management, I mean, that was another candidate. And I said to myself, well, I mean, if I was to eliminate one of them two charts, right, I would eliminate APP. That shit is up from 80 to 400. APO from 100 to 170. I mean, still a hell of a run for a stock of this caliber that normally don't fucking move a lot. But, you know, this is an insane move for a stock like that. And, you know, Workday, the whole software sector is just, it's pumping. It is fucking pumping like it's, you know, 2099, 2000, right? So, I mean, it makes sense why they would pick Workday and APO. Even though I thought maybe coin really had a shot, considering the momentum and considering the chart that the stock has fucking traveled in the last few years. You know, but when you look at these four and you're like, okay, pick one that is for sure not going to be a part of S&P 500 no motherfucking time soon, because of the volatility component, because of the chart, because of the loss of momentum pattern. It was simple. It was APP. So when you go look at the option pricing on these four stocks, if you go back to yesterday and you review the options in these things, you will see how incredibly fucking overpriced these options are, right? In relation to even like the colossal moves, like APP is almost like MSDR. It fucking moves 30, 40 points a day on no news, right? You'd be thinking like, whoa, you know, the options got to be high on this. But then you go pull up the options and you'll be like, hold on, these options expire in next 50 minutes, and options out of the money on this are still $10, 30 points out of the money. I dare you guys go look this shit up. 30 points out of the money. These options were still trading 50 minutes to the close at like fucking $10 a contract, which means the market was pricing an insane move. If everyone was in the right fucking state of mind to be paying this much for an option, 30 points out of the money, okay, there's got to be a reason why there's such a demand by market participants to be paying so much. So here's your fucking lesson of this long explanation. When you see options that are way overpriced, and by the way, they were not just overpriced when it came down to the downside. That's just the trade we took. They were also way the fuck overpriced to the upside, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? So basically, here at Tertiary Market Moves, we identified a very simple trade which most of the people simply were not fucking comprehending. Why? Well, because they don't look at the goddamn charts. Because they've never taken our charts and divergences course. Like, the price of the fucking course is minuscule compared to the fucking amounts of money you could have made on just on this trade, guys, by understanding the simple loss of momentum pattern. Like, this is kindergarten shit for somebody that understands the fucking chart patterns. So, no wonder why you don't have fucking breakthroughs in your trading account. How much time do you spend looking at the charts every day? Oh, okay, so you watch CNBC and YouTube for fucking 2-3 hours a day, but then as far as charts, you may look at one a day? Well, no fucking wonder your trading account ain't fucking growing. So the point is this. Options are going to be greatly overpriced at moments because the market participants are expecting a huge fucking move. That's it. Write this down. Now, you make money when? When we're buying, selling options, you make money when the market makes a big move. Now, when I'm saying selling options, there was multiple ways you could have taken the trade, right? So it would all be with determination that the chart is highly bearish for APP. If you understood the loss of momentum pattern, we could have done two things. You could have sold the fuck out of calls on APP going into next week. And guess what? You'd have collected a shitload of money because the premiums were just fucking high as fuck. And there's no way you could have fucking lost money in this trade, okay? The second thing, which most of the people will fucking disagree with that sell options, but I'm going to tell you that the biggest money in trading is not made on selling fucking options. The biggest fucking money is made on buying puts. Just straight up. So many people want to do goddamn butterflies, and they want to do the fucking condors, and they want to do this and complicate a simple motherfucking trade. If the chart is pointing to a loss of momentum patterns, there's only one fucking thing you need to be worried about, and that is buy the fuck out of puts. That's it. That's all you have to fucking do. But yet so many people miss those simple opportunities in the market because they're fucking brainwashed by the news. I mean, they're like that guy I was trying to portray in the beginning of this message. It's easy to be hyped up by the fact that a stock keeps climbing, or by the fact that Bitcoin keeps climbing, or by the fact that some fucking altcoin keeps going to the fucking moon. Sure, okay? But if you missed your entry on that shit, okay, buying it now when shit is at 100,000, 102,000, 103,000, that's not like, you don't get rich by taking that fucking entry. And for some reason, the general media just forgets to inform me about that. Well, hey guys, yeah, people are making money on Bitcoin that fucking got their entry way the fuck before Bitcoin got to 104,000. You don't get rich on Bitcoin by buying it at this fucking level. You don't get rich by buying APP shares by buying it at fucking $400, $413, $415. You don't get rich by doing fucking that. And I can give you historic after historic after historic fucking precedents of why that is not a good idea and how it plays out in the future. But people are going to buy the fucking hype. That's the fact. As a trader, you sell the fucking hype. You don't buy the hype. I mean, anybody knows you fucking buy low, sell high. But you know, when it comes to actually doing it, nobody fucking does it. That's the fucking problem. When it comes to trading options, people don't have a simple point of reference. Like, wow, I don't know when an option is underpriced or overpriced. Well, clearly, in case of APP, option was fucking overpriced. But it was a sure fucking bet, you know? So, all right, we bought a bunch of these fucking put options on APP because I saw a fucking opportunity. This shit was going to collapse because it was not going to get picked out for the S&P 500. So we bought a shitload of puts. And Friday night, shit drops. And I bet you next week is going to drop some more. You know why? Because a lot of buying in APP the week that just ended yesterday on Friday was due to the fact that there was a lot of fucking people thinking that don't know shit about charts that stock had a real shot being admitted to the S&P 500 index. Well, if they study any history of any stock that being admitted to S&P 500, it never happens to a stock that is up 500 fucking percent within 3-4 months. So if you just knew that simple fact, that was a no-brainer. Okay, there was not another fucking chart among all the possible stocks that could have been accepted to the S&P 500 that had a chart remote close to that. So to begin with, the shares were fucking ridiculously overpriced. To begin with, okay, they already had such a crazy fucking move. And for someone to actually think the shit could be moving even higher because it will get accepted to S&P 500 was just pure, total fucking lunatic fucking craziness. And that's exactly what's happening with Bitcoin and altcoins and a lot of other shit there. And I promise you, I mean, people will come to a realization. Now, hold on. I mean, the easiest speculation is, well, Bitcoin's going to be part of the treasury. Hey, Florida is buying it. Trump is buying it. Fucking everybody's no. Hey, I'll tell you what, there's another country that's trying to front run the Bitcoin trade ahead of the United States, accepting it to its treasury. And who could it be? Motherfucking Japan. Who copies every fucking thing the United States does? It's motherfucking Japan. So Japanese are buying ahead of the United States. We got a fucking bidding war going on right here. Buy fucking Bitcoin. Says a guy, the same fucking guy who just bought APP calls. So, don't be that fucking guy. Don't be the fucking guy buying APP calls. I mean, the message is simple. Okay, there are moments you can look at the option chain and options are ridiculously overpriced. Don't let that steer you away from buying those options that are overpriced if you have a sure fucking trade in front of you. And the way you would know you have a sure trade in front of you, if you look at the context on the charts, then you would know which one to bet against or which one to bet in favor of. Or at least you can narrow your trading decision to just a bare minimum. And when you have a moment in the markets when you can narrow your trading decision to just a bare minimum, you should fucking go for it each and every single time. But most of the people, they just don't see it like that because emotions. It's the fucking, the number one reason traders lose money in trading is because of the fucking emotions. And the number one solution we offer here at 13 Market Moves is to come in and trade with a coach who will help you keep your emotions in check. So, if you're like the rest of the 99.9% of the motherfuckers out there that lose trades because you cannot control your fucking emotions, that's a green candle, man. That looks so fucking bullish. Man, get the fuck out of here. You will never make big money in trading. Okay? Oh my God, this candle is so fucking red. Oh my God, I'd better get out of my fucking position. Oh! You'll never fucking make big money as a trader because your entry and exit strategy is based on your fucking emotions, which you cannot control. So, you could be a fucking brain surgeon, but you could be the shittiest fucking trader in the world, okay? Trading is simple, okay? You want to become more successful as a trader, you focus on the motherfucking charts. That's what you do. Not emotions, not on news, not on whatever, I mean, sure, they're going to be talking about APP fucking drop Monday, okay? But how the fuck does that help you? You bought calls on it yesterday when we were buying puts. So when the APP is dropping Monday, okay, and it's going to get the fuck down, and we're going to be collecting profits, okay? You're going to be sitting there wondering what the fuck happened. Well, how could you be so fucking wrong on a trade that looks so good? Well, because you didn't look at the context. You didn't analyze all the fucking outcomes that we looked at here at Third Market Moves, and that's how you missed a golden fucking opportunity. Or should we call it a Bitcoin fucking opportunity to short fucking APP? Guys, there's not to say that at one moment we're not going to be buying APP calls, but it certainly ain't fucking now, and it's not going to be fucking Monday. So, with that said, guys, all right, there's going to be moments in the market when options are overpriced. Sometimes traders see that and they don't take the trade, and that's probably one of the easiest mistakes experienced or unexperienced traders make. If you want to avoid those, and if you want to go for a high probability outcome trade, you come to us. Okay, now some of our trades are designed, depending on where your account is at, they're designed to help you go after highly risky trades that the market perceives as highly fucking risky, that based off what we look at here at 13 Market Moves, actually tells us that majority of the market participants are entirely fucking wrong on. And actually, what they believe is a low probability outcome is actually a high probability outcome. And that's how you put together a 10x, 20x, or a 50x, or even a 100x plus trade. Now, most of you don't believe it, that it's possible to put together a 100x trade. And that is why I dare you come to 13 Market Moves and trade with a coach. But you got to come prepared. You got to leave all these bullshit emotions aside. You cannot be collecting motherfucking profits when you're up 50%, 100%, 200% because you're like, oh, Leo, I never made this kind of money in my life. Fuck you. That's not a reason to exit a trade, okay? Imagine if people just traded and they said, well, I'm exiting this because I've never made this much in my life. Yeah, well, I mean, motherfucker, you probably would have never even made this far in the trade if your coach didn't even tell you to hold it this long. You would have jumped out at fucking 20%, okay? That's why you never fucking get to a point where you make 200, 5,000, 10,000% on the trade. Because most of the people, they don't go for trades like that because they look at bullshit setups, because they don't look at the motherfucking context, because they don't look at all these things that we teach you here to look at 13 Market Moves. So, if your journey as a trader has been total shit, okay, you have nothing to fear, you have nothing to lose. Okay, you come to 13 Market Moves as you are. I don't give a fuck if you got $100,000 left in your account, if you got $100 left in your account. You come and you learn the options trading strategies that we teach you. And they got nothing to do with motherfucking butterflies or iron condors. As a matter of fact, the traders that take those type of trades, they have very little understanding about how options are mispriced at certain moments that allows you to put together 20x, 50x, 100x trades. You got zero chance of putting the 100x trade together on the butterfly. 0% of fucking chance on trading iron condors or any other, what most of the traders consider a more of a complex strategy. See, you try to complicate shit, you'll never make a 100x trade. Keep it simple. You come to 13 Market Moves, leave your emotions aside, take all the motherfucking courses that you got so you can have at least some goddamn fucking reference point of why you want to hold on to a trade on certain days opposed to jumping in and out of it like a little bitch. So anyway, if your New Year's resolution is to get better as a fucking trader, you go to 13marketmoves.com, you sign up right fucking now, you go to 13mmtv.com, you schedule a call to talk to a trader here. The point is, stop making the same fucking mistakes you've been making over and over and over again as a trader. Face your fucking fears and begin to trade fearlessly with a 13 Market Moves coach. Let's fucking roll.